What's up, y'all? I'm Mark.
I'm Rafi.
Hey,
Ah,
I think that's the dead giveaway. Hold on. God damn it. This thing, man. I
every
keep.
time.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're better. We're better. Picture in picture. We're back. What's up,
Yeah,
baby? We're back again. It's been a while. It's another episode of Mark and Rafi. My life has been crazy, but we made it back. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm all right. It's just been working and living. Can't wait for you and other folks to come visit and stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to come down. I'm definitely excited to get out of this weather, dude. Snow after snow after snow. It's wild. It's wild. But
Yeah.
like I said, I gotta get this surgery figured out. Finally got this stuff with the VA, but now that's appointments in March, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, you need surgery." It's like, "Yeah, we've just like, can we just not do this over the phone? Like, can like just tell me what I gotta do, and I'll show up and you do it." But unfortunately, that's not how it works. So.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I mean, one good thing though is that I mean you have been able to be seen and it was rather quick. It wasn't like you said, I think you said you weren't sitting there all day or anything, right?
No, I will say the VA appointment was super smooth. Like I was expecting to be there all day. My appointment was at 9. I was out of there by 10. I got an X-ray, a blood work. I saw the doctor. He was like, "Yep, it's broken." I was like, "Yeah, man, I've been saying this." He's like, "Yeah, well, I'll make you an appointment." Like, because he wanted me to make me an appointment in Boston because Providence. He's like, "Nah." I was like, "Okay, bet. Like, let's do that." But it's gonna be the same thing. They're gonna go up there and be like, "Oh yeah, it's broken. Like, here's your options." I'm like, "Cool, man. I got it. I've been over this. I know about it. Like, just tell me what the option is, and I will give you an answer." But
Yeah.
it's gonna, it's gonna get there.
Yeah. No, no, this is good. This is good. We're talking about it too, because now I can go on like Wounded Warriors or something like that and show them this episode. Be like, see, we have a wounded warrior right here. You know,
No, I mean, and that's the
hook 'em
thing is
up.
it's tough. It's like the VA process is just tough. Anyone who's
Yeah.
been through it knows it's tough, and it's really a game. Whether you're injured, not whatever the thing is you're trying to get from them, like it's all a matter of like who you get, what mood they're in, all these things. It's so super dependent and hit or miss on like just an individual person that makes it so tough. So like anybody out there going through this stuff, like don't give up, don't quit. They're gonna deny you. Go back, like just stick with it because I mean it's your benefits, dude. Like you served, you did the thing, you get the thing. Like you just gotta stick in it. If they don't hold up their end of the deal where they're just like, yeah, no, you did your part, here's ours. They're like, nah, nah, nah. Prove everything that doesn't even matter. You're like, bruh.
Yeah.
But it'll be worth it. I
Yeah.
hope. I assume.
Yeah. 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 That's real. That's real. On my end, yeah, it's just been work. I'm at this conference right now. Just it's a planning thing for the Navy and stuff. And oh yeah, I didn't get sent to Guantanamo, which is great. I think we talked about it last time, but I was on a what I was told by an '05 a short list to get sent to Guantanamo.
Yeah,
Like,
they saw Rafi sitting there soaking up all that reserve money. They're like, this mofo ain't been doing nothing. He's at top of the list to go do something.
yeah. And they told me it like I think on like a Thursday, they were, or maybe it might have been Wednesday, but they were like, yeah, to leave on like Sunday. And luckily that Sunday came and passed, and some other lieutenant got selected. So, but
How do you feel like, I mean, you have a job you don't like, and like I get being in the military is a separate thing, like it's a whole thing, but like what do you think is really worse? Do you really think like, or what situation like would you rather be in a job you hate and you know you don't want to be there or not have a job? Like what is like obviously having money and all that stuff rolling in is good, but like diminishing your mental well-being day in and day out, like also not good.
yeah. Um, I mean, just coming from the position that I'm at right now, as far as having the job and having the income, like it is kind of nice to know, like, first and 15th, money's coming in, and it's like, it's not every day isn't enjoyable and this and that, but I can kind of go through and plan. But this is the type of person I am, though. I think like definitely me and you are different people. Like for me, I don't mind enduring the pain and the suck, to plan things out and make sure stuff kind of goes and stuff. But
I
like we talk,
mean, I wouldn't say that's not me. I've definitely endured the suck for almost 20 years. And I'm just like, yo, is this gonna be my life? Like,
yeah,
get this job that you don't like to make money. It's like, okay, like at what point? Everyone's like, oh, but when you're 60, you can retire. Like, bro, I don't know if I'm gonna make it that long, straight up. Second of all, like, I want to enjoy my life now. Like,
Yeah,
I understand it takes money to do all this stuff, but like the things I'm willing to trade for that money is not what it used to be. Like
yeah,
my time, mental sanity, like all of these things are like wildly important, you know. And once you start trading that in, like it's a quick train to be like, yo, you blink and 5 years go by. You're like, what just happened? Like, what did, like, oh, but you made money. It's like, at what cost? At
right.
what cost?
Yeah, definitely. No, and that main cost is like you said, time. Time is the one thing that you can't get back. Everything else you can pretty much get back. Money you could always get back. Items, even love you can, you can't, sometimes it might be hard, but you can rekindle love and stuff. But time,
Nope.
once that time is gone, that time is gone.
Yeah,
And
no,
I didn't
that's
realize that until I mean, I realized it in my adulthood, but definitely, it's like you realize it more, I think, as you get older, because I think you start to realize like you are that time is running out, and
yeah.
it's kind of sucks. It almost sounds like a Matrix movie, like, your time is almost up. It's like,
No,
woof.
it's definitely running out, but it's the whole thing too. It's like I remember, like being younger, and you see people like they're 40, like, oh man, you're old. They're like, it's like, but like for me, what I'm realizing is like 40 is the start of my life. Like I've
Yeah.
done all the research and background in life right now. I'm pretty good at life and understanding what I want to do out of it. Now it's what do I do to execute to get the life that I want, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's at the same time, it's like, and it's good. Like starting, life starting at 30, 40 is cool. But then you start to realize, like, man, but my body is, kind of, it's worn,
Bro,
my
my
patience is worn. There's a lot of stuff that, at this age, it's like, it's good that we're finding out, that, hey, we don't want to go down this path anymore and stuff. But man,
no, yeah.
resources and body and all that stuff is.
And I haven't done anything physical since I broke my wrist this time last year. So
Yeah,
1 full year of like just nothing, no physical exertion, like
yeah,
literally
yeah.
just sitting and existing. And I went to the gym yesterday and today with my little sister, and like we were just doing like old lady workouts at the machine. So we're both, she's like, oh, I'm like, let's just do some light stuff. Like I was like, okay, like that's light because I know how it goes. You want to get injured? Tell me why I woke up this morning. I was like, ah, oh God, I can't even like move my arm. Like, bro, it's awful. It's awful, but because depressed and I lost all the weight and all of a sudden, oh, you're so skinny, you look good. I'm like, I am in the worst physical shape I have ever been in my whole life. Like, we're gonna get back there though. I'm starting to, make some new positive habits and trying to get back on the right track. Eat some healthy food, work out. We're getting there.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
process.
No, it's definitely a process. And I will say that even myself, and I'm not in, the same situations that you're in, and to a degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, even myself, I find myself just, you know, it's harder to make it to the gym because of work being a certain amount of time, and then like the commute, going back and forth to work kind of sucks. And then yeah, just the motivation is just like like all right,
Yeah.
I want to go to the gym. Then I'm gonna be tired. I guess that's kind of good. That means I can go to sleep quicker. And I guess that's how I should look at it. Is maybe going to the gym, I can.
I mean, every single human knows eating healthy and working out has great benefits, right?
Yeah,
None of us do it because it requires more effort and time and all of these other things. Like, I
yeah,
get it. I don't have anything going on and like still trying for me to fit in like a workout in the day. I'm like, fuck my schedule, man. That's I gotta
yeah.
wake up and mosey around the house for 2, 3 hours. I gotta
Yeah,
sit down. I get, you're like, it's crazy. It's crazy, honestly. Like, but I did
yeah,
redo my resume, so I got that going. You start applying to some jobs, start doing that. Start, but still, like only fully remote. Like I can't.
yeah,
I'm trying to balance this family thing, man.
yeah,
It's a lot.
yeah.
It's a lot. Like I know
Yeah,
everyone's got their own families and their own weird little workings of their families and stuff. And sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. But man, sometimes it just feels like it's always down. You're like, what? What am I supposed to do? Like
yeah, yeah. For your as far as the remote position, do you think that you want it to be 100% remote, or could you do like a 50-50 starting off the bat,
so like starting off the bat, like I could do something 50-50, but it would have to be like local. You know what I'm saying? And in Rhode Island, there's not many of those options. And also long term, like I would like to have a footprint in Rhode Island, like because my family's here and they're not going anywhere. But like ideally, like 3 months max out of the year, I would like to be in Rhode Island, you know. So to find something that's like, oh, 2 days a week. It's like, okay, that's cool. And like, that's a great option for a lot of people who are set. And like, most people are set, right? Like, where you live is where you live. It's your family. And it's like all these things. Like, that's not me. That's just not me. Has never really been me. Is not ever going to be me. Like, I'm just nomadic by nature. I don't know what it is. I can't help it. I go stir crazy with sitting in a place for too long. So it's like, okay, even if I started with that, it's like, now you're just committing towards something like, and that's the whole thing I was telling you, like going back and forth, like, do I just take a job just to like get money coming in? And like, but it's like, as soon as you do that, then it's like, well, now I got to move to this place to get this job, to do this thing. And then next thing you know, it's like 2, 3 years. It's like, okay, well, at least I was getting money. Now I can plan better for this transition. But it's like, no, dude, like I am ready now and
Yeah,
I can't go back. Like, I know what happens if I go back. Like, no matter how much money it is, like, I'm not lost on that, you know, like having access to a 6 figure salary and stuff. It's like super nice. And I get it, especially with times and stuff like that. But like, I, I'm not going to do it. Like,
yeah.
there's 100 other ways to get there. And I know that. And it just requires like some sacrifice up front.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. What do you think the line for you? Like what's the timeline on you finally, not finally, but you potentially going back to, your old profession or, because meaning that like, you're going down this new path and obviously we're both hoping that the path bears fruit, but if that not to get too I guess more not morbid but kind of negative, but like what if it doesn't work out, like where do you think the line is where you're like, all right, well, I
And
gotta go
that's
back
something
and
like I
work
honestly,
for
it's like I
the
grapple with all the time because it's like it's so easy. Like I even get job offers for those things. They're like, oh, come over here and get this job. And it's like,
yeah,
I'm sitting here making no money, just bleeding cash that I had like
yeah,
planned for living in Spain and studying. I was like, I had that whole thing, I had everything planned,
yeah,
broken wrist, wrenched everything,
yeah,
but like never, dude, never. I can't. Like to
man,
finally get to a place like, and it still requires a lot of effort on stuff like where I'm happy with me and like the whole time you even have the job, then it's always like that. Like, are you ever like when someone's, oh, what do you do? People are always like, oh, and I do this, and they're really excited to talk about like what they do and their job and their profession. One, like you're always told, like, don't really talk about what you do, like,
right,
and it's not even like it's that secret squirrely, but it's like it just begets a lot of questions that you can't really talk about. They're not really interesting anyways. And it's not something I want to talk about. It's not something
yeah,
I'm passionate about. It's not something like I think adds value to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like every time I talk to people, like even if they're like, oh, I just like started my own business, like clipping lawns. It's like, oh, like, dude, you're so invested. Like, you're excited. Like, what do you do? You're like, I work in a people farm, dude. I work in a people farm with awful people that do awful things all the time. Like, and I just the money is like I can't justify it to myself anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard enough trying to accept the reality that I live in now. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is the way of the world. This is how society works. This is how people work. Like they're all bought into this thing that I'm just like, I'm not bought into, like I'm gonna not go reckless and harm people and like all these other things. Like I'm gonna fit into society, but like just leave me alone, man. I'm not all the superficial things, it's like I can't do it anymore. The
yeah,
fake office. Oh my God, hey, how are you? Are you okay? You look sad. You look tired. This is 4 in the morning. You don't like me. We've been over this. Like, just do your job. I do my job. We don't have to have this fake weird office. By the way, we're family. We're not family. We're not
right,
family. You run this office, and we don't even really like each other. Like, let's just keep
yeah,
it at that. I do my job. You do yours, and we don't ever have to worry about it. But
yeah,
people can't do that. Because when people feel slighted or this and that, like, well, my title and you have to respect me. I don't, because I'm a human. You're a human. You are no better than me in any way, shape, or form. And as soon as you talk to me otherwise, that's it. It's over. I don't have to respect you. I can do my job. I can talk to you professionally, but don't hit me with the fake stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's
yeah,
everywhere. Everyone's
yeah.
so it's just snaky, bro.
Well,
Stop it. Stop it.
yeah. Well, at one point though, I mean, you like doing this. I mean, not necessarily like the the Belgian type thing where we're in a little box and we're just developing a read book, But
Mm.
there were certain jobs that you did like. You do
It
you ever
wasn't
think
even really that. Like the only job I really liked doing was when I was in the army, like doing human work deployed in Iraq, which
Mhm.
was a very minute space because when I wasn't deployed as a human to when you're back like stateside, you're just bitch detail for everything because you're in an intel's place for the most part, and analysts and all these other things can they work on their machines, computers, this and that. Like I need another human to interact with, and like they don't they don't do that, so you're just they're like, oh, go flip rock, whatever it is, like go do area beautification. You're like, dude, like come on, like it was wild. And like for me, like, and it's weird to say, and I think that this is a lot for like a lot of military guys, like their deployments were some of the best times in their life, like not for the fact like you're like, oh, war, this and that. It's like no, like you get to really do your job, like you're really bonded with these people you're over there with, you're like doing this thing, and like when you're there, you're like, I'm like helping people. I'm like doing this thing. We're doing. Obviously, we can look back now and be like, wow, like it was all for naught. It was all pretty awful, So like, and that's the culmination of things too. Like after 20 years, I'm like, when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan, when you're there and like do your job, you're like find the bad guy, kill the bad guy, make sure everyone gets home safe. Like it's immediate gratification. You're like, okay, I did the thing, we got the thing, everyone's okay. That's really all you're worried about. And like when you come back from that, and you look at a big picture, you're like wasted so much time, lives, and like all of this stuff. And it's like on both sides. It's like when you go there, like when I first went there as a kid, you're like, oh man, like I can't wait to like kill terrorists, whatever it is. And you go there and like you're working with the people, you're like, oh wow, imagine they're humans just like us. Like,
You're right.
holy shit, they're like cool people. And you're like, oh man, like I can help them. Then you see the fall of everything and how everything's you're like, man, like what
Yeah.
what difference?
Yeah. No, wow. Yeah, I was thinking that you were gonna at least say that when you first started contracting, maybe there was like a position or something that you enjoyed and whatnot. But yeah, that makes sense. As a like you said, as a human, so you gotta be you have to talk to humans and as far as I know, I don't think there are contractors that actually are actually on the boots on ground doing the actual
I mean, and there is, and I got to offer a lot of those jobs, but you're just doing screenings. You're just
Oh,
so
okay.
you're not like actually in bed. You're just screening for all the people that come in and like, I know where Osama bin Laden is. Like, yeah, okay, dude, sure you do. Like, whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, there is all that stuff, and like there is other options. And when the reason why I first started contracting is because when I got out, I was like, okay, like I did my time, I did my thing, like. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, all my orders got messed up. I'm like, I had no control over, like, I thought I would have more control. Didn't. So I was like, let me get out and do a thing, kicking around, offering me big money to go to Afghanistan. I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I was just doing that. And I was like, okay, like this isn't what I want to do. Like I'm good at it. Like I've been doing this. I understand it. I can do this thing. I don't want to do this. So I'm gonna stay a contractor because they offered me that Govy job back in 2011, like a GS-12 position. And I was just like, I'm not doing that
Yeah.
because I don't want to do this long term. And
Yeah.
then here I am, ended up contracting for 14 years. And I'm like, the whole reason I did this is one, so I could have control of my life and I could step out. And I just never stepped out. So that's why it's even with this Belgian thing, it's like, okay, what do I take another one? And then what went another 10 years, another eight, like whatever it is, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I see. I see that. And that is probably a good lesson learned to for a lot of folks to understand that, look, hey, you know, time just, we talked about before, time is something you can't get back. And, when you get into these positions, like you said, you're making good money, you don't really plan to be there long, but it's like, oh, you look up and all of a sudden it's, 10, 14 years later, and it's like, all right, cool. Well, I still don't plan on this being long term, yet I'm still here. And now what do I do? And now you're trying to
Right.
figure it out and stuff. So it's a good lesson to learn. I feel this to say, hey, maybe folks that are out there for sure, look at what you're doing, maybe every, 2, 4, or 5 years and say, hey, where am I at? Am I where I want to be? Where do I want to go from here and stuff like that? And, make those short, medium, and long range goals and whatnot.
Well,
So
and that's I think the issue for most people is the goals, right? Like
yeah,
most people just don't have goals. Like you have a goal, like you want to survive and pay off this bill, whatever it is. But like
yeah,
when you're thinking about your life, like what am I actually trying to accomplish? Like what do I want to do? Where am I trying to go? Like
yeah,
all of these things. And it's like you get so overwhelmed with life and the daily tasks and all this and the things
yeah.
that pop up. It's like when do you ever stop and take a second and like check in on yourself and be like, yo,
Yeah.
am I doing okay? Am I where I want to be? Is this what I'm trying to do? Like, is this making me the person I want to be? Is this helping me get there? Is it setting back? And I
Mhm.
feel like when you do that, like most people are pretty disappointed of where they are personally. It has nothing to do with the money in the job because I thought that was gonna be the thing that made up for everything. Like as long as
Mhm.
I got the good job and the money and the house and the white picket fence and like it did all these things, and I got there and I was like, I'm miserable, dude. Like I am so miserable. I come home every day and it's like, okay, like my bills are paid and I don't stress about money, but now I have to drink or I have to buy something. I need to get this dopamine hit because I'm so miserable. Like every morning I wake up and like the first thing I do is that deep sigh and sit on the edge of the bed and hold my head. I'm like, what am I doing? Like another day. And then you think about it and like, especially sitting in these people farms, you look over and you're like, I see all the people that are 50, 60, and I'm just like, is that what I want to be? Is this what I want to do? And they're like, yeah, but look at my truck, dude. I'm like, yeah, but you were miserable. Every word of your mouth is misery. Everything, like, oh, this sucks. My life sucks. My wife sucks. My job. I was like, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, dude. Like, especially like when I went to Colombia, and it was sad to see like how like under the poverty line everyone was, right? It was tough.
Mhm.
But like these were some of the nicest people. They're smiling, they're happy, they'll bring you in your house and split their last apple, like whatever it is. And I'm like, and I come back to America all the time. Like everyone has more than what they need. They have more than enough, and they're so greedy. No one wants to share. No one wants to do. Like it's this whole thing. And I'm just like, I don't know what anyone's trying to accomplish. Like, what is it that you want to do? Like, I'm so flabbergasted with humans at this point, which is why I stay in a basement and I'm completely detracted from society. I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure it out, and I want to be a part, but you know,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
I get you. I totally get you. And yeah, that's a that's definitely a topic for another time. But yeah, as Americans, like yeah, we live in abundance. As much as we feel like our poor people are poor, man, our poor people here have it
Yeah,
pretty well. In comparison to other,
yeah,
and I'm not saying that, oh, if you're poor here, you have it great and you need to celebrate. No, I ain't saying that.
yeah.
But just kind of piggyback on what you were saying is just like, yo, we have a lot of abundance. There's no, people. There should be no hunger in America because we produce way too much food just in general and stuff. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. That's definitely a topic for another time and whatnot. But yeah, we are coming about that time here. Um, yeah.
Rafa's cutting me off. Too much sharing.
No, no, we can keep going. We can keep going. I mean, these talks are great. Um, I
I
really,
mean, am I wrong, dude? This like, I mean, we've talked about this a bunch. I told you many times. I'm like, I can't keep, I don't know, pretending. I feel like everyone is like, and everyone does it to a certain extent. Like every single human, you like mask to some level. You pretend like, and it's the best to see it when people like are on a phone call, like hanging out with your people, this and that, whatever it is. As soon as anyone gets like a work related, well, hello, it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's like a
yeah,
total switch up. It's like cool, I
yeah,
get it, but at the same time, it's like I've now like constructed myself in a way where I'm like I'm just like a decent human being, and like the way I go about things is like I know is good. So I'm like I can be me in any situation. But with work and all this other stuff, me being me would cause conflict. It's like, oh, you're not serious enough. It is that. I'm like, because it's not serious. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
why do I have to be serious? Can I do the thing you're asking me to do? Yes. Do you want me to smile and tap dance for you? I'm not gonna do it. It's just not gonna happen. So get over it. And they can't get over it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, but I'm
yeah,
in charge. Do you feel in charge?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I seen it firsthand with you and the folks in Belgium and whatnot. And yeah,
Power trips people up, man. They go crazy. Like, especially in the military, it's like first time someone gets promoted, they're like, let's go mess with people. It's like, for what? Well,
yeah,
because I got messed with. And it's like, yeah, and you didn't like it. So
yeah,
why would you continue that? Let's be the change that we want to see. Not, well, it sucked for me, so I'm gonna make it suck for you. Like, smooth, dude. Yeah, real cool. Like,
that's real. No, that's real. Dude, everything you're saying is real. And yeah, I was just to that point though about just like the mission that we had and how, like you said, people were making it super important. And it was just like, I mean, yes, it's important. We're gonna get it done. We can do it. Like obviously, we never not do the mission. But
and
like you
then
said,
look
they
what
they
did.
they want you to do it. They want you to kind of tap dance and smile and stuff. And I gotta say, definitely I know that because I'm the type that will tap dance and smile,
Yeah.
and it sucks sometimes. I mean, it doesn't really necessarily hurt my heart or anything because it's just like, yo, I know what these people want, and
Well,
that,
and that's the thing. It's like I know what I want and I could do the thing, but I'm like, that's not me. And it's also doesn't need to be. And it just sets this precedent. It's like because
yeah,
you're a shitty leader, because you're shitty, I have to cater to your fragile ego and all this other stuff because that's just the way it's done. And I need a paycheck and I got to do these things. Nah,
yeah,
you know what? And that's when I decided I'm like, I don't need this paycheck. I don't care. Keep trying me. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And like, I could have stayed there and just been in a tense situation the entire time, but like, it's not worth it to me. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever is in your small, shitty, sad world that makes you this way, like, honestly, I would have tried to help you and felt bad for you and done this thing, but you're just an awful person. And I don't have the time for that. Like, you can't save
yeah,
everyone, and not everyone needs to be saved. Like, I'm just gonna go about my world and be the best human that I can try to be. And when these freaks try to come in and interrupt my peace, I'm just like, stop, dodge that. I don't need that. I don't need you. I don't need to hear what you're saying, and I don't care. Like, fix you before you try to come at this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
everyone acts like they're not human. Like, it's like, yo, people have bad days. People have like lives. Like, things go on. Like, chill, relax. Just like, hey, you okay? No, I'm not okay. Like, I'm not okay. I'm gonna do my job today, but just give me space. All right, cool, no
yeah,
problem. What? What? What's about? I'm a human. I have a life. Things go wrong, and I don't want to share them with you because I don't know you, like you, trust you, any of these things. So
yeah,
back up.
yeah. Not to this is like another subject. This is another rabbit hole to kind of go down. But I will say, in the case in Belgium, I just thinking about the two lady bosses that were there, the one before the last one, and I don't want to put names out there, but you know, um, but they, I remember you had a discussion. You told me you had a discussion with one of them, and they said, "Yo, hey, I don't know what I'm doing," and that might have been partly some imposter syndrome that she might have been, experiencing. Another thing is that, being a woman, it is hard, in this male dominant kind of, sector. So, and her boss was a male who was right there, and a high ranking one, a colonel at that. So, there was probably a lot of anxiety that she probably experienced and stuff like that.
I mean, I get all that, but a lot of the pressure that all of us face, we put on ourselves. 100%.
True.
If you come at me and you're doing the best that